So first off, I would like to say that this is my first time making a video like this, so if I seem a little off, that's why, just sitting here talking to the camera, I've never done this before. The reason I'm making this video is because hopefully some of the things that I am going to say will inspire others to find healing. I also believe that depression shouldn't be something that's hidden. I don't think that we should keep it in the dark. I feel like we should educate people because it's something that affects so many. You shouldn't be ashamed to ask for help. You shouldn't be ashamed of yourself if you're feeling this way. It doesn't make you any less of a person. There's so many people, like I said, that suffer with this, and it's not impossible to get better. Believe me, I thought it was, but it's not. You just have to want to, which is really difficult, and I'll talk about that a little later. Like I said, it will help maybe educate people that aren't familiar with depression and don't know what it's like, or have a friend that they want to kind of understand more. But remember that not everything I'm saying is going to pertain to everyone. This is just how I feel. My name is Sarah. I'm 18 years old. My depression started when I was in 6th grade. I was 11 years old. I think before I really realized what was going on, I kind of just felt really sad and hopeless all of the time, and it all kind of just accumulated to this giant breakdown on my living room couch, and I just felt awful, felt sad, I felt hopeless, I didn't know what was going on. My dad came and started to talk to me, and he told me about medication and therapy, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm dealing with, and I don't think that's what I should do. But then he explained to me depression is like a misbalance of chemicals in my brain, and just having it kind of explained a little bit helped me, realize that I did need medication to help myself feel like who I am, who I really should be. I'm not saying that medication is good for everyone. I'm not going to push people into taking medication. That's just what helped me. I don't think you should be entirely against it. I did get medication. I don't remember how many I tried before I found one that worked, but it does take a while. It takes like 6 weeks to start working, which is can be very frustrating, but you just have to relax and take things as they come. Therapy is very important. Personally, I didn't have a lot of therapy. Like, I've had little bouts of therapy throughout the years. They all helped. I didn't go consistently, but it did help. You need to be patient. You need to understand that it's not going to work right away. A big thing about depression is you need to understand that when you start trying to help yourself, it's going to take a while. It's going to be hard. Some people don't need medication. Some people just need therapy. Some people don't need therapy. Some people just need medication. Most of the time, it's both. I get really aggravated when I see people talking about how medication, you don't need that, or they feel bad if they have to take medication because they don't feel like they can do that themselves. When I was depressed and didn't get any relief, I felt like that was who I was. I think a lot of people have a fear that it's going to change them, but it really just opens you up to being happy and being able to accept things. For me, it brought out who I always was, but that was just buried underneath the sadness and the self-hatred and all of that. Self-hatred was a very big aspect in my depression. It's the main thing I struggle with now. I'm better with like the sadness, but self-hatred is something that I still struggle with daily, but I'm getting better. I'll talk about that more later. There's 2 types of depression. There's situational depression and there's lifelong depression. I personally feel like the best course is to talk to a therapist and figure out what kind of depression you have before you start medication or anything. Like, you can't give medication without going to a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist and a therapist are different. A therapist talks with you and tries to talk through your problems. A psychiatrist evaluates you for medication, if you didn't know that. I didn't know that for a while. With me mostly, I have lifelong depression, but it can be worse with situations. Like it can get triggered, which is to be expected. Back to that when I was younger, I felt a lot of self-hatred. Mostly, I'd be really hard on myself when I made a mistake that affected other people. I went to a therapist to talk about the future. That helped a lot. She helped me get a lot of my thoughts and fears in order. You have to be comfortable with the therapist first. You have to tell them everything because it's worse if you don't. You especially have to tell you how they make you feel. Like if they're saying something that makes you feel a certain way, like it makes you feel bad about yourself, tell them that. Don't feel bad about giving them feedback. Don't feel bad about leaving them for a different therapist because you have to find someone that you're comfortable with and someone that you think can help you. I still suffered from a lot of episodes. Around sophomore year, I got some physical medical problems, and I struggled with those for about 3 years. Having those medical problems really made my depression a lot worse because I had headaches all day, I couldn't leave my bed, I couldn't do schoolwork most of the time, I couldn't do anything. I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to do anything ever again. After a couple years of being basically immobile because of chronic pain, I went to a clinic that helped me. It's a chronic pain rehabilitation center, and they helped me deal with everything. I had to get 2 brain surgeries because of Chiari malformation, and I also have POTS, POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and autonomic disorder. I can talk about that in another video if anyone wants me to. Comment below if you would like some advice on how to get through chronic pain. The Pain Rehabilitation Center was a month-long, 3-week process, and they talked a lot about positive self-talk and looking at yourself in a positive way, which was a big source of my depression. So after I went through the program, my outlook on life really changed because before I didn't feel like life mattered that much. I wouldn't understand why people would get upset if someone took their own life. Eventually I began to realize that it does matter. As far as we know, you only get one life and one experience, and you are strong enough to get through anything. Humans' minds are amazing, and you're human and you're amazing and you can do anything. You may feel like you can't. I know I felt like I couldn't, but you have to believe and trust yourself and believe that you are strong, because I don't know you, but I know that you are strong. So saying before, my outlook on life really changed. Part of that was me being healthy and being able to continue life as normal. Even though I was having chronic pain, I was able to continue and do everything that I wanted to do, so that helped me feel a lot happier. And I went through that experience. The thing that really changed me, since I struggle with self-hatred so much, is the positive self-talk. I know it doesn't sound very impressive, but it's such a small thing, but it means so much. I write positive things about myself in my journal every night. I write things that make me smile during the day. Then I write things that I'm grateful for, and then I write 5 positive things about myself. If I were to look back to the beginning of my journal, the positive things I wrote wouldn't be very self-reflective. They would just be like, I'm nice to cats, I'm nice to animals, I'm nice. Because that's the only thing I could say about myself. I could just say that I'm nice, because I try really hard to be nice. Something that happened while I was at the program, we were all in a discussion room, and we were talking about positive self-talk, I believe, and they wanted me to say something positive about myself, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't say anything positive myself. I could only cry. I think I ended up saying that I'm good at kissing cats because I couldn't say anything else. That was a really difficult moment because, I'm surrounded by people in this close quarters and I start crying because I hate myself and I didn't. That was kind of an epiphany moment, I guess, because after that, I realized how important it is to say good things about yourself. You start out small. Okay, say what you're confident in saying about yourself. Just keep going every single day. Find 5 things you can say good about yourself, and eventually you'll be able to say better things. Throughout the months that I've been doing this, I've gotten better at it. It's became easier for me to write positive things down. And you just, even if it feels like nothing's happening, something is happening. I'm gonna start talking about what it feels like to go through an episode of when my depression gets really bad. I wouldn't want anyone to see me. Like, I'd want to hide under my bed in my room. I didn't want people to see me. I didn't want to bother them. My depression and self-hatred wasn't caused by something. It wasn't an event. I haven't done anything wrong in my life. Like, I'm a good person. I do the best I can. I haven't committed some terrible, terrible thing or anything. I always had a good life. My parents are great. I had a great childhood. It's just how my, yeah, it just happened. Tips to, get you feeling better when you're having a really bad problem. You have to notice when it starts, because if I was rocking back and forth and repeating terrible things to myself, I wouldn't be able to just stop and be like, okay, this is wrong. I'm a good person. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that. No one can. Well, maybe you can. I couldn't. I have to notice when it's starting to get really bad. I was about to have one, and my thoughts were starting to go, they were starting to get dark, they were starting to get terrible. I was able to stop myself and be like, no, this is wrong. This is not true. None of this is true. I'm just stressing out and freaking out about nothing. Actually, what helped me was my boyfriend was there with me, and he was hugging me, and I knew that I was okay, and I was just being ridiculous. And the first time that happened, I was ecstatic because all these years I didn't think that I would ever be able to do something like that. I would ever be able to stop my thoughts in their tracks and turn them around, because it is hard. I never thought I'd be able to do that, and the first time it happened was amazing. You just have to keep thinking positive the best you can, and the more you think positive, the easier it'll be, and the easier it'll be, the more you can do it when you're having a really bad problem. Like I said before, it may not feel like you're doing anything, but you just have to keep trying. That's how most things in life are. You just have to keep trying, and you have to help yourself. You have to want to help yourself, and wanting to help yourself is really, really hard. But start small. Start small and just keep trying. One of the more recent incidents was, I can't remember what caused it, but I started feeling really bad about myself, and oh wait, I remember. My mom yelled at me, and she never yells at me, and I felt terrible. So I went into the bathroom and I started sobbing. I was sobbing so hard, and I realized that it's gonna get bad. If I don't stop this, it's gonna get bad. So I stopped, I took some deep breaths. I actually started thinking really bad stuff in my head. Okay, so what I did was I quickly found a piece of toilet paper and I started writing down things like everything's okay, I'm okay, this is fine, I'll be okay, this isn't as big of a deal as I feel like it is. Even just write the same thing over and over again, because it's just a distraction. It's better than distracting yourself with bad things to just distract yourself with positive things instead. Just stop, realize that you're not in a good spot, and stop it before it gets worse. I really hope that some of the things I said can help people. I feel like nothing's gonna, I feel like I didn't say anything that would help anyone. But it's just important to talk about it. It's important to get that out there. It's important for people to feel like they're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you because you're feeling this way. You have to want to get better. If you don't want to get better, then nothing's gonna help you. It's really difficult to change how you think. It's really difficult because, you know, I hated myself my whole life. So to just stop and change my entire way of thinking, my entire way that I thought about myself, is one of the hardest things you can do. But if you take small steps, if you be consistent, you can get help too. Don't feel bad about getting help. It doesn't make you weak. Nothing you're feeling makes you weak. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it. It's not impossible. Like I said, comment before if you want to talk, if you want me to talk about how I was able to combat chronic pain and get from laying in bed all day for years to, in a month, to get back to doing everything I wanted to do. If you want to hear about that, comment. I'll make another video. I hope I did a good job. I believe in you. You got this. You can do this. You're alive. The world is yours. You got this. Very cute. Close the door, please. How cute is this baby?